Today I'll teach you how to send email using jQuery Ajax in ASP.NET MVC. So let's start. Now I am showing you the web.config file which I'll be using in this project. Here I have already set the mail server settings. I am making use of Gmail server mail settings. For more information on configuring mail settings for email server, please refer to the video on the right hand side. Now let's move to the email model class. Here I'll be creating some properties. So the very first property is email. The second one is subject. The third one is body. Now let's move to the Web API controller. Now we'll start by adding the namespaces system.net, then system.net.mail, then system.configuration, then system.net.configuration. Now I am creating send email method inside the controller. This particular method will handle the post calls. As you can see, here I am accepting email model class object. First, the SMTP section is defined, which is used to fetch the mail settings from the SMTP section of the web.config file. Then an object of mail message class is created, to which the from and the to email address is passed. Then the subject of the email is set. Then the body. Then we specify whether our HTML email body is HTML or non-HTML. If it is HTML, then it is set to true. And if it is a text email, then it is set to false. Then an object of SMTP client class is created. Here we set the host. Then enable SSL. Then the network credential object is created, where we specify the username and password of the mail server. Then the default credentials value is set. Finally, the network credentials are set into the credentials property of the SMTP class. Then the port number is set. And finally, the email is sent using the send function. To the send function, we pass the mail message object. Once the mail is sent, the success message is sent to the jQuery Ajax calling function. Here I am decorating the method with the HTTP post attribute, and then I am setting its root. This particular root will be used to call this particular method through jQuery Ajax call. The root will be set in the URL property of the jQuery Ajax function. With this, we have completed the Web API part. Now let's move to the view. Inside the view, I'll be adding an HTML table, to which I'll be adding some labels and text boxes. The first text box is for to, that is the recipient of the email. The next text box is for subject of the email. Then the third text box is for the body of the email. For that, I am making use of text area. And finally, I have a button which, when clicked, will send the email message. So now we can proceed with the jQuery code. I'll start by inheriting the jQuery library. After that, I'm adding script tag, and inside which will write the jQuery code, or in other words, the JavaScript code. Inside the script tags, I'll start by adding a jQuery document ready function. Here I am referencing the button and I am assigning it a jQuery click event handler, so that when the button is clicked, this particular event handler is triggered. So here very first thing I'm creating a JSON object, and inside this particular JSON object I'll be storing the value which is entered by the user in the text box. Now I'm creating an AJAX function. The very first property of the AJAX function is type. Since we are doing a post call, so I'm setting the type as post. So the next property is URL property, and here I'll be setting the root of the web API method. The third property is data. After that, the jQuery AJAX function is as standard what we use. Hence, I'll not go into the explanation part. If you need to know the details of how to call web API using jQuery AJAX, please refer to the video on the right hand side. Inside the success event handler, I am accepting the response, and then I'll be displaying the response inside an alert message box. Then comes the failure and error event handlers of the jQuery AJAX function. So I'll just move fast forward in it. So with this we complete the programming part. Now we can run the project and see it in action. As you can see, the text boxes and the send button is now visible. Now I'm putting recipient email, then the subject of the email, then the body of the email, and I'll be clicking the button. Now it is displaying the message. With this we come to the end of this video. Today we learned how to send email using web API in ASP.NET MVC. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and please also click on the bell icon so that you receive notifications. Goodbye.